Tennessee will go on the last day. They're actually the last team to be at SEC Media Days. So they will be there on Thursday in July. Now, from a news content standpoint, who would you most want to see during Tennessee's media session, Caleb?
Which person related with Tennessee? Is that what you're talking about?
No. Which other teams? We don't know. We don't know the players yet, and we won't until like a week, two before.
Well,
maybe Cooper and Jacob, I would imagine, would be two.
You want to see Alabama because you want to troll Nick Saban.
No,
but that's not the number one person you want to see. It's obvious where I'm going because we're going to go the same way. You want to see Lane Kiffin. You want to see Lane Kiffin on the same day because Lane Kiffin is just way too funny.
Tennessee, Ole Miss on the same day. Do you want who would you most want to see in the third spot, given what happened last year? Wink, wink. I'm giving you a hint. Andy acted like a bit of a doofus last year during SEC Media Days.
Yeah, I'm lost on this one. I mean, I think I know where you're going because I know who's in this spot, but I'm assuming that's who you're saying you want to see in this moment.
Who is going to be in this moment?
Yes,
so do you know who it is yet?
Shane Beamer?
It is Shane Beamer. So there will be a moment at which Shane Beamer and Josh Heupel will come together, have to shake hands and talk about probably nothing, as they probably don't want to be around each other all that much. But that's a great storyline day. As a matter of fact, I believe firmly that is the best storyline day. I mean, you've got, from Tennessee's perspective, you have the team that beat them last year and the team that they need to thump this year to end any sort of potential rivalry. You have that. You also have Lane Kiffin, that obviously it's Lane Kiffin. I can't possibly imagine a better trio on the final day. And I do think that they stack some of these so that the media stays till the very end. A lot of times that's Alabama at the very end, but there have been a couple of days where they had like Missouri and Vanderbilt on the last day, and you're like, I don't need to be any part of this. And people would leave early, and it was like a ghost town. So the first day will be LSU, Missouri, Texas A&M. That's Monday, July the 17th. Tuesday, full day, Auburn, Georgia, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt. So we'll talk a lot about Auburn and Georgia that day. Wednesday, Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, and Kentucky. Now, this is going to be in Nashville. And then Thursday, man, if you're a Tennessee fan, I just don't know that it gets any better than Lane Kiffin, Shane Beamer, Josh Heupel. You have two coaches that will say something in Lane Kiffin and Shane Beamer. We know Josh Heupel is not going to say much. He doesn't say much in front of the media, and wasn't comfortable last year with all the NIL talk about Nico at the time that came up. He also, I don't think, was real comfortable with Eli Drunkwitz saying that Tennessee was cheating on the Jim Rome show, which he dropped, I believe, purposefully that day so that Tennessee would have to deal with that. So, Caleb, I love it. I love that final day of Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Tennessee. That is just plain strong, my friend.
Oh, it is. And here's the thing. It's necessary, too, because they really dropped the ball on the other days. Like, how do you not have Alabama and Texas A&M on the same day going next to each other? Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher with their war of words. And maybe Kirby Smart before Nick Saban, since he is the new Nick Saban. Like, how do you not do that? I mean, let's go to the first, first day. Brian Kelly, Eli Drinkwitz, Jimbo Fisher. Okay, Missouri, we don't care about. LSU and Texas A&M, we do. But at least put Brian Kelly and Jimbo Fisher back to back. And then Tuesday, Hugh Freeze and Kirby Smart. But those are two interesting ones. But you can have those at any time. I want Alabama, Georgia, and Texas A&M next to each other. I want the drama with Nick Saban surrounded by his two former assistants, one who's about to get fired and he's taking a ton of shots at, and the other who has taken his mantle away from him. But instead, we got to see Nick Saban next to Sam Pittman.
Yeah, you got to put Sam Pittman somewhere. So on Thursday, it's Tennessee, South Carolina, Ole Miss. So 4 downs, first down. Will Lane Kiffin throw a barb Tennessee's way? Yay or nay? What say you, Caleb?
Yes. Yes, he's going to make a South Carolina joke in within the first
just
5
Tennessee.
minutes.
Will he take a shot at Tennessee?
Yes, with the South Carolina joke, because what South Carolina did to Tennessee last year.
Maybe. I'm going to say that Lane is past the point of that. Just a weird prediction. Maybe not. I haven't seen him tweet as much.
Didn't he turn down the Auburn job because they wouldn't let him tweet that much?
I think that was a factor. He also leaked out there that he didn't want to move his kids, which I don't think he's ever made a professional decision based off his family. And I didn't believe that.
I kind of do because I don't want to live in Auburn. Okay, sorry, keep going.
I think at the end of the day, he wasn't offered. Is my thought on that. So will Shane Beamer do something goofy? If you remember last year, he had the viral video of him like coming in with a rapper and had the glasses and stuff. Will he do something goofy again, or will he be a more esteemed Shane Beamer?
I think he will be, I hate to say this, he won't do anything goofy this time. He'll be more esteemed, and here's why. Shane Beamer is very much like Butch Jones. They say goofier things when they feel a little more pressure. Like Butch Jones didn't come across as goofy when Tennessee was considered a program on the rise and people were excited about the program. It was when he started feeling the heat, when he said champions of life and 5-star hearts and even a mental rep is a real rep. And
fair. All right. So that was second down. Third down, will Heupel even mention Lane or Shane's name? Because some coaches like to go in there, especially with the recent history of Beamer and the not so recent history of Kiffin. They don't say their name. And it's just a little bit of a psychological ploy. Will he mention their names?
No, Josh Heupel is way too careful in press conferences. He's not going to do that.
I think he'll be asked, and it's not one of those things like when Butch Jones said the red team, which incited to Alabama's football team that year. I don't think he's going to
go. Did he really think that was going to be a motivator for his team? The red team.
Yeah, it wasn't. They got hammered.
That reminds me of when Derek Mason was like the team out east.
Right. So that's third down. Fourth down, it's a possession down. If you had to root for one person, Kiffin or Beamer, message, well, you've got to root for one person. Who would it be?
Kiffin. He's fun. I like fun. I want Lane Kiffin, and I want 2009 Lane Kiffin back running Ole Miss.
Yeah, it would have to be Lane for me as well.
Particularly since we are now 8 years removed from Steve Spurrier coaching in the SEC, and you need someone has to play the role that Spurrier played for so many years, right?
Yeah, but I think that Lane could do that. I just think he's growing a little bit tired of it. And I think after getting passed by Auburn, and I believe that's the case, I believe that he realizes he needs to be viewed a little bit differently to get a destination job again, like he had at Tennessee, quite frankly. But
so wait, I'm just missing this. So Auburn passes on Lane Kiffin for baggage, and then they go hire Hugh Freeze?
Well, I mean, I can't tell you that for sure. I will tell you when I have a really good source on something. I don't have a really good source on this, but that's what I was told.
Right.
We're worried about no reason. Well, it makes logical sense. There's no reason not to take the Auburn job over Ole Miss. That is a considerably better job.
Yeah, I agree, but I can't imagine Auburn being like, Lane Kiffin has too much baggage. Let's go hire a guy who is a snake, got in trouble for a prostitution scandal, and also has some very, very weird and serious charges against him from when he was a high school teacher.
Well, no, wait a second. There's a lot of baggage with Lane too that doesn't get talked about publicly.
Yes, but if Auburn's trying to avoid the baggage, particularly because of the Brian Harsin thing, they wouldn't go for Hugh Freeze. That's not a guy they would go for.
Listen, I'm not saying prostitution, okay, but the baggage with Lane Kiffin that's known in SEC circles is significant.
Does it outweigh Hugh
No.
Freeze's baggage, though?
No.
That's what I mean. That's what I
No.
mean. So they wouldn't turn away from Lane and go. If they turned away from Lane and hired somebody else, you got me. But if they're worried about Lane's baggage, I'm just saying they would not go and then hire Hugh Freeze unless they think Hugh Freeze is a better offensive mind than Lane. I don't know. That's possible, but I don't.
I think baggage was a factor on both guys. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
I mean,
it's just weird that they hired Hugh Freeze if they weren't going to hire Lane Kiffin. That's all I'm saying.
No, that's fair. And, maybe Lane didn't want to give up social media control. That'd be a stupid reason to pass on a job, but that could be the case.